Hello, IELTS International English Language Test System. In this detailed video lecture, we will going to be discussing details about IELTS exam, about its exam pattern, its time duration for each section and questions, its marking criteria that examiners would have in their minds while giving you 6, 7, 8 or 9 bands, and the type of questions that each section will contain. So many of you will be familiar with this exam. It's conducted by British Council. IELTS is actually an exam that examines your language skills. Examines your language skills when you want to go abroad, you want to go UK or USA or any other English country that you want to go for your job, for your study, for any other purpose. So you have to pass this IELTS exam, that is International English Language Test System. So in this complete video, you will learn which sections are there in IELTS exam, how much marks they contain, what is the exam pattern. And after watching this complete video, hope so that you will be able to prepare by yourself also. And if you need any guidance or teachers are also available for you, let's go through it. So there are basically two types of IELTS exam: IELTS General and IELTS Academic. So when you are going to choose your IELTS exam booking on the British Council website and you want to appear in the exam and you want to pass this exam, you have to select out of two options. IELTS General is a bit easier, especially in the writing and the reading sections, though listening and speaking are same for IELTS Academic and IELTS General. In IELTS General, this exam is required for some low degree, some that is lower than degree. I mean, some if you want to go to study in a school or a college level, not at a university level, or you are going abroad in some English-speaking country for some employment or business purposes. For example, you want to get your job there. So if the company requires to do IELTS and pass IELTS exam, so you have to go through IELTS General. As far as IELTS Academic is concerned, it's for studying at higher level of education in English speaking environment. If you want to go for a UK based university like Oxford, Cambridge or Harvard University at America, so you have to take these exams of IELTS Academic. It's also required sometime for professional registrations if you want to get yourself registered as a doctor or maybe as a teacher or professor at university level. So you might be required by your company or hiring authorities to pass your IELTS academic exam. So it's up to you. It also depends on your job requirement, on your study requirements and the university that you are choosing, or maybe your company that you are going for work in. So they will tell you that whether they require IELTS general or academic. Okay, what's there in exam? The basic question, what you will encounter or face if you go for IELTS exam. So basically there are 4 papers or 4 modules in your IELTS exam. So the first one is listening, and in listening section you have 40 questions that you have to answer on the answer sheet, and you have total 30 minutes time for that. But in the later part of this video, we shall also discuss in details of listening, what's there or what's not there. So, but generally speaking, these are the few glimpses and overview of what will happen in your listening. There are 40 questions. You will listen to audio files, some audio, some people conversating with each other, and you will fill the answer sheet with the right answers. Which type of questions there would be, we shall discuss in the later part of this video. Okay, then the next paper is reading paper. In reading paper, you are again having 40 questions. You have to complete them in 60 minutes. In writing section, you have 2 tasks. They are different in general and academic paper. So in writing you have two tasks and you have 60 minutes, 1 hour to complete it. And in speaking there are 3 parts. So when you join our online classes, we shall continuously having all 3 sections practiced. So in speaking, you have 3 parts for 11 to 12 minutes, almost the duration is there for your speaking exam. So this is an overview. Now let's talk about reading. What is going to be there in reading? I hope so you enjoy this beautiful scene, a child reading a book. So if you want to improve your reading section of IELTS, you must develop a habit of reading, though it's very complicated in this era that we are so much addicted to our mobile phone and social media and other devices that we are losing the taste of reading the books. But it's still there. It's still, this habit is still existing in our circumstances. So you have just to read quickly the things. Okay, in reading section, you have total number of sections are 3. Reading material that you will have to read will be in 3 sections. And the total text length is about 2150 to 2750 words almost. So this is the total length of the text that you will be supposed to read. And you will have to read the section and then there will be some questions that you will be answering, and the answer of those questions will be found in those passages of reading. All the purpose of all this activity is to check your ability, that how much understanding you can developing by reading quickly some material, some content in English. There will be total 40 questions in this reading section. Each correct answer receives 1 mark, and your final score that you will get at the end will be given as a band score ranging from 1 up to 9. You can also get or secure half bands, like you can have 4.5 or you might have 6.5. You can also a whole or a half band. Then which type of questions will be there in these reading sections? When we say there are 40 questions, they will be of 11 types. So these 40 questions will be of 11 types. The first one is MCQs, multiple choice questions. So there will be reading passages and then there will be multiple choice questions. You have to choose the correct answer, and the answer will depend on the reading passages that you will have. You have to read the passage and find out the correct answer. Second type of questions are regarding identifying the information. In this section, you have to say whether yes or not. I mean, you can say true or false or not given. So you have to identify whether the information given in this sentence, you have to compare it with the reading passages, with the reading material, and then you have to select an option out of 3, whether it's true or false, this information is not given in the passage, or it's false or true, rather it affirms the information given in the passage, or does it contradict with that, or if it's not given. Third is a short question. It's like a comprehension that you might have in your school studies. There are reading passages and at the end there are a few questions that you have to answer. For answering the questions, you need to read carefully the reading text. So in reading classes, we shall make you practice all this. We shall provide you some answer sheet books and some reading material, and when you will go through these things practically, then hope so you will become master of that. All right, and the third one is short answers, and the fourth one is diagram label completion. So this type of questions, there is some diagram and you have to give labels, you have to name them according to the reading passages. So these are different types of questions in different forms. The main purpose of this section is to check your reading ability, that how much you can understand reading an English text. The fifth type of question is it can be in different forms. They might ask you to complete the summary. There will be a summary given, but there will be fill in the blank. There will be blank spaces in between the lines of summary, and you will be asked to complete the summary. It can also be a flow chart in the form of a sequence of something, and there will be missing few things and you would have to complete them. It might be a table, it might be a note, you have to complete them, the missing words. Seven type of question in this reading section is sentence completion. There will be some sentences and you will have to complete them. In our reading classes, we shall show you practically how it works and what happens in this section. Then there is matching sentence endings. Yes, there will be few sentences and you have to match their best endings depending on the reading section what you read. Then there is matching features and also matching headings. So there will be few headings and few paragraphs of reading you have. Now you have to put the best heading for the best paragraph. The strategy for that is you first need to read the paragraph, then think that which is the best heading for this reading paragraph. Again and again, having the practice of these things in the class activity, you will really enjoy it. Then there is matching information. So few informations would be given there, and you will be asked to tell that in which paragraph, like A, B, C, or D, which paragraph contains this particular information. 11th type of questions are identifying writer's claim. So you will again have three. It's like identifying information. It's much similar with that, but a bit different. In this section, you would say like yes or no or not given. So does the writer argue that? Does the writer claim that or not? Or if it's not discussed in that passages, reading passages, then you would say it's not given. These were 11 types of questions in reading section, but the total number of questions will be 40. So you will have 40 questions in your reading paper. Then second paper is writing. So writing, as you know, is a wonderful experience. You have to create a flow. You have to be very accurate in this. What's there in the IELTS writing paper? There are two tasks in writing paper. In the first case, there will be some visual information that you have to describe in your own words. You have to write 150 to 200. Sorry, there's a missing here. 150 to 200 words. So you have to write actually 150 words, and time duration will be 20 minutes. You will total you have 60 minutes. 20 minutes will be spent here on the first task, and remaining 40 minutes you will spend on task 2. But in general in general section of IELTS, you will have to write a letter related to a given situation, instead of writing like an essay or a paragraph on some visual information. In the second task, that includes 240 words in 40 minutes. In this section of task 2, you have to give your own point of view. It might be argument, or if there is a problem in the given situation, that you might be giving a solution to that problem, or an argument that you need to discuss. So it's a bit difficult than the first task that you simply have to describe. You need descriptive adjective and adjectival phrases to describe something. But in this section, you need some argumentative or other forms of writing skills here. So by writing again and again and getting few tips from your tutor, from your teacher, trainer, you can go through and practice the things and take different tasks from your teacher, then write on these given situations. Then let it be checked or examined by your trainer or teacher, who will then tell you which type of mistake do you have and how you can cover them. He will give you few tips. Okay, there are a few important points to be discussed here in the writing paper. Always write your answers using full sentences. Do not write your answer as notes or bullet points. And you are allowed to write notes if you want to take some notes, you want to write something, you can write on the question paper, but these will not seen by the examiner. Okay, what is the marking criteria? Which are the things that you must be careful about while doing this writing task, and the examiners would see this? There is coherence and cohesion. And task achievement and response, the first thing is how much your writing material does follow the instructions given in the question. So if the task is given to describe something, how much you have achieved your task, how much your response is suitable for that situation. Did you respond well? Did you follow the instructions properly? Then there should be coherence and cohesion. You should use some cohesive devices, and all the sentences should be well connected with each other. Then they will be checking your lexical resources. It means how much set of vocabulary do you have in your mind, which type of not only individual words but beautiful phrases that you use in your sentences. So this part is about vocabulary, and you can build your vocabulary by continuous reading, reading books, English magazines, or maybe novels, literature, anything you like, and also by doing the writing practice and letting it be examined and checked by your examiner or trainer that you are having this IELTS training course. If you want to join Emaad Online Academy, so Emaad Online Academy is the best platform for you to work and get trained for your upcoming IELTS exam. Just be at home and learn at home with our online classes. The fourth thing is the marking criteria is grammatical range and accuracy. So how much accurate you are in grammar while writing something, and how wide your range of grammatical knowledge is. So how many types of grammatical structures do you apply while writing something, and how much correct or accurate they are. So you must be very good at grammar, and my advice to you is, if you are very weak in grammar, you have mistakes, you write wrong sentences, so before joining IELTS preparation training program, you should join first our English grammar course or English language course, then you should move towards the IELTS training course. The third section of your exam is listening. So in listening section, you will be listening few audios that they will play, the voices you will hear, and then you will answer the questions from those audio files. So what's in the IELTS listening paper? The paper has 4 parts with 10 questions in each part. So total there will be 40 questions in listening section again. There are 4 parts. In the first part, you will listen some conversation between 2 speakers, and they will have like a normal routine daily life social conversation, like they are arrangement for some traveling, they are having discussion about their new upcoming classes, they are having discussion about going to some barbecue or some good food or a dinner party. It might be some customer and a shopkeeper conversating with each other. So in part 2, the 10 questions will be related to an audio file that will contain only one person will be speaking alone. It can be a speech about some local facilities or something else. In the third part of listening questions, you will hear a voice, an audio file, that there is a conversation between 2 main speakers. For example, 2 university students in a discussion, perhaps guided by a tutor. So this type of conversation is a bit tricky one, it's a bit complicated one, it's a big deeper one, a serious discussion on some serious academic situation or other situation. Then in fourth part, only one person will be speaking on an academic subject. It might be a presentation given by a student, In this audio file that you will listen, there might be a teacher who is delivering a lecture. Okay, which types of question will be? There are 4 parts of audio files, that which type of conversation you will listen. Now, which types of questions you will have in all these 4 sections, 40 questions. There are 6 types of questions in listening section. The first one is you will have to do some sentence completion. And in the second, again, you have to complete a summary. There are the blank spaces, some missing words, and it might be a flow chart or a table, or it might be a form that you have to fill. It might be a summary, like there is a names are missing. You have to put a name in the form that you have just now listened in your audio file. So for practice of these things, how it works, join your online classes, and there I will provide you an opportunity to do the practice. I will play for audio files for you. This content and audio material and notes and answer sheets will also be provided to you to have a perfect practice before facing the real exam room. In the third case, there might be some plan, map, or a diagram, and you have to name the different parts of the diagram. You have to do labeling according to the according to your listening, what you have listened. According to that, you have to fill. Then you have to match. Then there are some multiple choices questions and easy one, very short questions. Some short information will be asked to you in the form of some questions from the listening files that you will hear. Okay, the last section or the last paper that I will discuss, the 4th paper of your IELTS speaking. It's speaking of your IELTS exam. Speaking is an art, it's a wonderful art. And the more you beautify your language with grammar or sound ornaments, the more beautiful you're speaking. So, what's going to be in your spoken test? In speaking IELTS test, there are 3 parts. In the first part, you will just enter the exam room and the examiner will ask you, tell his name first. Like, my name is Kasim, I am your examiner here. What's your name? Like that. He will ask your name, your full name, how should I call you? These are the questions, the factual ones. You just have to speak about the factual information, not an extended answer. In this part, you will just give short factual answers. But then the examiner would ask you to show your identity. You might be showing your passport or identity card. Then the examiner would say, let's talk about. Now there will be 4 to 5 minutes in this section. He will talk to you about it might be about your education, your favorite pet, your sports that you play. It's a type of your detailed introduction. The examiner would be talking about on 3 topics, 4 questions for each topic, and 12 questions total. So be very much active, be confident, just speak with fluency. And how to make your sound and pronunciation beautiful, you should join our phonetic course as well to make your English sounds beautiful. And in the IELTS training program, you will also be instructed about your skills, how to speak fluently and effectively. Again, you will also need to do some listening practice to make your speaking perfect. You need to do listening at least 1 hour a day, listening to the native speakers. In our online classes, you will be guided and suggested about which videos you should watch and which speakers should you listen to beautify your speaking. This first part, actually, that includes 4 to 5 minutes. It's all about yourself, about your introduction. Then in the second part of speaking section, you will be shown a card like this that you can see on the screen. This type of card will be given to you. You will have 1 minute to think about these questions, like describe a terrible or horrific experience in your life that you had, and you should say when it happened, who were with you, what happened, and explain why it was so horrific or terrible. So you will be given 1 minute, but that 1 minute in exam day situation is like 1 second. It will pass so quickly. So do not waste your time on writing notes, though you will be provided a page if you want to write something, but don't use that. Just have a quick map in your mind and start speaking fluently with much confidence. Keep in your mind you have to continuously speak. It's now your turn. It's like a monologue. You have to do continuous speaking for 2 minutes. So do not be much concerned about the content and the information that you are speaking here, because examiner will judge your language skills, not your stories and your content. The third and the last section of your speaking paper will be a discussion. It will be a two-way discussion. The examiner will be discussing with you, he might be arguing with you, and he will continue and carry out the same topics which you were speaking just in the second section of speaking. So he will continue, he might ask you, for example, from this card, he might ask you that how do people so disappointed after going through terrible, or he might say that whether people feel disappointed or not passing through some terrible experiences in their lives. So in this section you have this section will include 4 to 5 minutes. It might include some opinions or compare few things. So he might ask you how would you compare village life with the city life. It might be discussion. It might ask you that is life possible on some other planet, and how the life would be if we go on to some other planet. These are actually discussions on some topics more abstract or some deeper questions. So it will be two-sided discussions between you and the examiner. So they might ask your opinion, or they might ask you to compare or contrast something. Okay, which are the things that you must be vigilant about your speaking section? What the examiner would see when you are speaking. The first thing is how fluent and coherent you are. So fluency and coherence, how all the words and sentences are well connected and in continuous flow they are, and how fluent you are while speaking. So in your online classes you will be given special instructions, you will be given chances to speak in the class, and your fluency will be measured and you will be guided about how to improve your fluency. The second thing is lexical resource, that is your set of vocabulary that you have. So in this section your vocabulary will be examined, that or how rich you are in using various kind of words, lexical choices, and the beautiful phrases that you use, not just even individual word but also the beautiful phrases that you use. The third thing is grammatical range and accuracy, how much knowledge of grammar that you possess, and how accurately do you use in your speaking and writing and other things will be specially examined by the examiner. So your grammar should also be good for the IELTS exam. If you are not good at grammar, I would sincerely advise you that go through some 1 month or 2 month English grammar course. These courses are online at Emaad Online Academy. You can also join these online grammar courses first to improve your grammar. The fourth thing is all about pronunciation. How do you speak, your sound effects in your speaking, and how do you pronounce certain words. So pronunciation is very important in speaking section. Your accent, your stress and unstressed patterns, and your rising and falling intonations. So these are very important things that you should learn, how to make your pronunciation beautiful and impressive. Okay, I wish you best of luck for your upcoming IELTS exam. So now the question is how to prepare these IELTS exam. So there is a wonderful thing for that I would suggest you. How should you prepare for your upcoming IELTS exam? So how we are preparing our students from around the globe. We have Sri Lankan students from Pakistan, from other countries. You can be a part of Emaad Online Academy. where you can best prepare for securing good bands in your upcoming IELTS exam. Join to beautify your language in IELTS training program under Emaad Online Academy. So what you are going to have in this course, it's actually 40 days course for your IELTS exam preparation. You will have speaking and writing feedback. So examiner like tutor, your teacher, trainer will be listening to you. In live classes, you will have chance to speak in the class, and I will tell you which types of mistake do you have, how can you improve them. I will share my feedback with you. You will also be provided with some course books, some ebooks in online form, and some CDs that you will need. Then you will have two lectures a day. Daily, one lecture will be on the advices and tips that you need, and the other would be on doing the practical practice, applying those principles and advices on your paper. You will have 4 days a week class, and you will be made listening audio practice. It will be a nice opportunity for you. Audio, we have a lot of audio files. We will play the audio conversation, you will listen to that, and then you will have answer sheets in your hands and you will fill them. You will also have some practice test. So in practice test, basically what you are going to do in this practice, it will be like mock test. You will there will be conducted at academy. There will be spoken test again and again, reading and writing and listening test. So the main thing is to remove your fear of in exam center, when you will be afraid, hesitated, and feeling so disturbed and nervous. So to remove your nervousness of your exam room in your academy, online academy sessions, you will have a chance to do mock test. So there will be special focus on the improvement of your accent. Many of students from countries like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and especially the Arab, Egypt, Syrian, and Iraq, from other Arab countries, they have many issues concerning their pronunciation or speaking English correctly. So we will tell you definitely wonderful rules in comparison and contrast with your native language and how to polish your accent. So on Monday you will have speaking class, on Tuesday you will have listening class, on Wednesday you will have reading, on Thursday you will have your writing class. Don't be too late. Rush to secure your admission at Emaad Online Academy. You can ask this WhatsApp number of our admission department. They will secure your admission on first priority basis. Your course instructor, me, Muhammad Qasim. I have been teaching more than 10 years English language and literature at various colleges and universities as well. So I have completed MPhil in applied linguistics. I would be happy to see you in live classes. We shall have a very good time. We shall practice all the 4 papers of your IELTS exam. Thank you very much. Wish you best of luck. May you get good bands. May you get 9 bands out of 9 in your IELTS exam.